So on my right side is Mr. Shahid, and on my left, first left is Heather Shah, and second left is sitting Nafis Mohammed Nasir. So beginning with me, it's a very important topic that we are today would like to give consensus on the construction of Islamabad Dam. In my opinion, dams are very much important for any country in the world because we meet our needs like domestic, industrial, agriculture, and hydropower generation. And more than that, these dams are very much helpful during the flood protection because a lot of damages are being covered by construction of the dams. If we see the history, Pakistan was well abundant in 1950s, and the per capita availability of the water was 5,000 cubic meter per annum per capita, which has now depleted up to 1,000 only. So really we need to be very serious and to think of construction of mega projects, mega dams. And indeed, government of Pakistan is doing much better. After construction of, I think, Mangla in the regime of Muhammad Ayub, General Muhammad Ayub, and Tarbela Dam in the regime of late Shahid Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Islamabad was in the stream for the construction. It was brought, and World Bank promised for its funding. It was actually initially investigated in 1953, but its first planning was done in 1979. It was to be completed in 1993, but somehow, some reasons, the dam construction could not be placed, and it is under the big politicized. Now, what are the issues we have to see? Mainly, we see two main issues. That's one is political, and second is technical issue. Now, looking at it was the era of General Ziaul Haq when his ally, the then governor of KPK, who became controversial with him and brought ANP against the Islamabad Dam. And same was the situation in Sindh, because after the assassination of Shahid Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, the same thing was there. So this was the actually basic dilemma, that it was taken away and it is not still under the consensus. Now we should see what are the issues and how we can recommend the solution. So KPK is going to say, Mr. Nafis will, I will back over him to Nafis and Heather Shah, but let me first give you the concept of issues. So Frontier, KPK is going to say that the construction of Islamabad Dam will flood Nowshera and cities like Mardan, Pabi, and Jarsada and so on. And more than that, there will be displacement of a number of peoples, and that displacement will be worst affected. And they are quoting that up till now, the Tarbela Dam displacement has not fully covered by the government of Pakistan. And Sindh is going to say that with the construction of this dam, there will be no water. On the basis that 138 million acre feet availability is there, including the availability of Kabul River, 16 to 20 billion acre feet. And the accord, which is going to allow the availability of the water, is 114 million acre feet. That has been equally divided into the provinces. Now I would like to give the over to Mr. Heather Shah. He will give you idea of Sindh resolution and KPK's emissions.
First of all, I want to laugh, and then I will cry, because who is deciding the destiny of Pakistan? I asked one of my villagers, do you know about the Islamabad Dam? Should we construct it or not? He said, not. Because of this, Nowshera will be drowned, and Pabi will be drowned, and Mardan, and Sawabi, and so on. In Quran, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala says, if you have some problem and you don't know about that, then ask the person who is well versed in that field. So that is the dilemma that most of the politicians of our country, they don't know. Even I have watched one program outside the National Assembly, and the anchor was asking the politician of our country that, do you know where is the Kalabagh Dam situated? He don't know. And you are in favor or against? He said, I am against. Why? Because it is harmful to the country. Even a person don't know about the location of the dam, and he is saying that this is the harmful to the country. We can see the two aspects of Kalabagh Dam. One is the technical and one is the political. So up till now we have studied that it is more political than technical. Mr. Dr. Israr Khan, the Northeastern University, Shanghai, China, and Mr. Salik Javed, Dr. Salik Javed, lecturer in the professor in the Abbasi University, Islamabad. They carried out one study, and they simulated the model of the Kalabagh Dam, that whether we should test this in the simulating environment, whether it is harmful to the because of this the Nowshera will flooded, Pabi will flooded, and Mardan and Sawabi. So they took images from the USGS satellite website, and they put it in the Google Mapper, and they made contours, and they in detail they studied these contours, whether this Nowshera will be flooded, Mardan will be flooded, and Pabi will be flooded. I am the best advocate of this Kalabagh Dam because I belong from Pabi, and Mr. Shamsul Mulk also belongs from Pabi. He is my villager. So we are the best advocate of Kalabagh Dam. We are in favor of Kalabagh Dam. So they, when they analyzes the Kalabagh Dam model, so the level of Kalabagh Dam is 915 feet, reservoir level, while Nowshera is 935 feet. Pabi is 960 feet, Sawabi is 1000 feet, and Mardan is 970 feet. So after the analysis of this model, the back water flow effect, because of this Google Mapper, and also they used one more slide software. They studied the slope stability of the dam, and because of and some other study they also carried out. And because of these studies, they concluded that Kalabagh Dam is not harmful, and due to this, Nowshera will not be flooded, Mardan will not be flooded, and the scarp of Sawabi and Mardan will not be affected. This study was carried out by the two gentlemen, and I will quote some more of Mr. Shamsul Mulk, or villager. He said that because of Kalabagh is not harmful to the to Nowshera and Pabi, flood like 1929 and 2010, it happens rarely in the history, and it will happen really. So these two floods, we cannot standard for the harmfulness of the Kalabagh Dam. Now I will
over to Nafis.
our turn to Mr. Nafis.
Was that? As Haider Shah Makuli told about the reservation of two provinces that is KP and other is Sindh. KP has 3 reservations on the construction of Kalabagh Dam. The first reservation of KP is that after construction of Kalabagh, Naushera, Mardan, Pabi, Sawabi area will be flooded. The other main objection of Kalabagh Dam, the KP government is that after construction of Kalabagh, the Naushera, Mardan, Sawabi land will subject to salinity and waterlogging. And the third main objection of KP government and people is that after construction of Kalabagh, approximately 34,500 people will be displaced and they will not be compensated. As Haider Shah already told that several studies have been carried out to consider the apprehension of KP government regarding construction of Kalabagh Dam. I have also studied a research carried out by teacher of Nast University, civil engineer, regarding construction of Kalabagh Dam. They have carried out study of Kalabagh Dam with the help of a computer software. They have considered the slope of Kalabagh Dam and slope of other areas, upstream areas of Naushera, Mardan, Sawabi. And they have taken all the soil testing data. They get the soil testing data from the WAPDA. They put all these data into that software and run, and on the basis of all that data, they run the software and they get the result. As per their result, the elevation level of Kalabagh Dam was found, as told by Mr. Haider Shah, 915 feet above the sea level, while the elevation level of Naushera region is 935 feet, and that of Sawabi, Mardan, Pabi is 1,980 and 960. So there is a difference of about 20 feet between Naushera and Kalabagh Dam. I mean that Naushera is about 20 feet high, then the lowest level of Naushera is 935 feet, while the maximum operation level of Kalabagh Dam will be 915 feet. And that 915 feet will be operated for only 3 to 4 weeks during September and October.
Yes, Mr. Masih, may I interpret you? And over to Mr. Shai.
Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear friends, today we are talking about a very sensitive issue of this country. In fact, our country's survival is totally depending on the construction of Kalabagh Dam. According to a report, which is just forwarded by IMF, Pakistan stands number 3 in the most water-stressed country in the world. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. You see, in 1931, when the first dam, Hoover Dam, was constructed in the US, after that, since till today, more than 40,000 dams have been constructed, right? Out of these dams, 22,000 were constructed by China, like more than 4,000 by India, and how much Pakistan? 70. So this is the alarming situation. There is a study which shows, if I'm not wrong, the total capacity of our reservoirs are like 18 million acre feet. And the amount of water which we are wasting today annually is between 30 mf and 40. And 1 million acre feet of water, it costs like $1 billion. $2 billion. It means we are losing like more than $80 billion. In fact, we are dumping $80 billion in the sea every year. We say that the next war will be between India and Pakistan will be on water. And yes, it is true. Actually, it is already begun. Although we Pakistanis, we are not, seeing it, although we realize that the war is already begun. If you look at the India, I was telling these friends that India is constructing 55 small projects on River Chenab. 55 projects. They are under construction, some of under construction, some of under the phase of designing and planning. But they are going to build these 55 projects on just one river, Chenab, which is also belong to us as per treaty. And still, they don't care. They are just going and going and going. They are doing and they are trying to stop the water to Pakistan. But we don't have to worry about this. We still have a lot of water. I told you 40 million acre feet water. We are losing it every year. And we as a nation, we are just doing nothing, talking about, construction of Kalabagh and all this. And Nौशहरा डूब जाएगा और ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा सिंध वाले कहते हैं कि पानी नहीं मिलेगा भाई किस तरह नहीं मिलेगा पानी आपको ऐसी कौन सी ऐसी बात है मैं ज़रा उर्दू में बात करता हूँ ताकि ज़रा बात खुलकर हो ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ है जो सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में इम्पॉसिबल है सिंपल सी चीज़ मुझसे केपी वाले पूछते हैं कि भाई ये डूब जाएगा आपका ये अटक ब्रिज प्लस नौशहरा में उनसे सिंपल एक सी चीज़ मैं उनसे कहता हूँ जिस पर वो खामोश हो जाते हैं मैं कहता हूँ कि वो कौन बेवकूफ़ होगा इंजीनियर जो एक कालाबाग की वजह से गाजीपुर होता है जिसका पानी अल्टीमेटली 15 किलोमीटर डाउन स्ट्रीम अटक ब्रिज से 15 किलोमीटर डाउन स्ट्रीम वो पानी रियासी में गिर जाता है वो कौन सा बेवकूफ़ होगा जो ऐसा डैम बनाएगा जिसमें ये गाजीपुर होते ही डूब जाए सिंपल इसमें कौन सी ऐसी बात है
Over to me, sir. Thank you very much. And we have got a lot of studies on the construction of the Islamabad dams. Several experts have given their own views and comments. Now, what should be the way forward? What should be the strategy? What should be the strategy that we move forward for the construction of dam? Because trust breaking of the province, we have to recover this. We have to restore that trust breaking of the provinces. Now, how we need at present to formulation of a committee because there's no any reason that issue of the Kalabagh Dam cannot be resolved because these the very high issues in the world are resolved through dispute commission resolution boards and indeed this is not so big issue so we have to formalize a commission on dispute resolution of the Kalabagh Dam which includes renowned politicians, engineers, public figures and then we have some foreign experts to understand this issue and as Mr. Nafis and Heather Shah has pointed out the levels, a model that has already been carried out in the studies. A revision of the feasibility study is at present, a fresh feasibility is recommended here that may tell the people of KP that this is the situation. Moreover, the trust of the lower riparian by releasing the exact amount of the water as per accord should be ensured because Wikipedia 2008 tells us that after 1991 accord, there is no release of water or agreed water that has been released downstream of the coterie. So that trust must be restored, And number third is that because water course, when one is sitting upper, two brothers can be in the conflict. So we have to restore this trust and we have to review that methodology. And then operation, even the operation of the dam should not be given to a single province. if this dam is going to be constructed on one side that Mr. Shah will explain you. Yes.
For the yes, for the conflict resolution, Government of Pakistan established one authority that is called IRSA to settle the disputes of water between the two provinces of Sindh and Punjab. In 2007, IRSA tried and carried out one study whether Calabar Dam is suitable or not. So they give their comments in favor of the government that Calabar Dam is suitable for the country. And after that, IRSA sent the same report to CCI, and CCI also endorsed the same, and it was sent to Lahore High Court, and they also endorsed the same that Calabar Dam construction is necessary for the country economy and industrial development, and as well as for the flood control, and as well as for the agriculture. So after that, the same report was sent to our parliament, where our politician was sitting, and they totally rejected that it is not feasible, the construction of Calabar Dam is not feasible, and it is not in the favor of the 2 or 3 provinces. So my opinion that we should, we have two kind of people. One is knowledgeable people, and other are ignorant. We should teach that. We should carry out a drive and make awareness of the about the Calabar Dam. I remember when we were sitting with the Tariq Hamid, Chairman WAPDA, he started one drive, and early in the morning before the breakfast, he reached to the politician, one of the politician, and along with the multimedia and laptop, and he gave a briefing to the politician about who were against the Calabar Dam. When he presented to those politicians, they became agreed with the Tariq Hamid that okay, we don't know about this, that this much the advantages of the Calabar Dam. So we should, we are all experts on our field, and especially in dams. We should carry it out one drive in our village, in our city, that how much is Calabar Dam important for our industrial development and economy, and as well as for the flood control, and as well as for the agriculture development. I will over to Mr. Nafis.
So to construct Calabar Dam, we have to get the consensus of all the provinces, particularly the KP and Sindh government. The KP government, as I already told you, has a reservation about Nowshera, flooding of Nowshera, and water logging and salinity, etc., and the dislocation of people. So we should convince the KP people that there will be no flooding, no chances of flooding of Nowshera, and no chances of water logging, and that the affected people will be compensated accordingly. So as far as the concern of Sindh are, as far as the Sindh is concerned, we should also give him a commitment that water will be properly shared, and there will be strict monitoring of water. And the other issue that I will highlight, that after construction of Calabar Dam, the net proper, the Calabar Dam powerhouse will be located in Punjab. So the net proper will be given to the Punjab.
So, Mr. Nafis, thank you very much. And now concluding this session, I would, sir, is it time?
Time is over.
Time is over. Concluding is that we need to establish formulation of a committee who, under the constitution of the Government of Pakistan, that may frame the term of reference, because we cannot afford the construction of any project at the cost, at the risk of federation, because We are because of Pakistan. Pakistan is there, we are there. So this is not a big issue. Only we have to restore our trust. So thank you very much.